Hey everyone, it's Jessica here with another layout for Bramble Fox Design Team. Today I'm using these gorgeous perspectives and paper snips number 33. So the perspectives that I've used are the travel icons and the Great Day Out sets. So I'm only going to use a couple of those, one for my title piece and then another little geotag thing for on top of my photos from the other set. So I am starting this off with some white cardstock that I'm distressing a couple of the edges, and then I'm actually going to use a border punch along the one edge instead. I was just going to keep it distressed, but then I decided I really want this to look like I pulled it out of a tablet, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I've cut the main part off of that pattern paper because I really just wanted a border on two of those edges. So I wanted to save the rest of it because I'm going to go do something else with that here in a moment. So I'm using some easy tear tape that I get from Thermoweb to go ahead and adhere these two layers together. And then I will cut the excess off using my paper trimmer here beside me. It's pretty big, so I usually don't pull it into my frame. I usually just cut off camera. So here's my 3 photos I've got of me and my baby girl whenever we were having some fun at the lake. And I am just going to use this pocket tabbed file folder die in my Big Shot machine to actually cut a section out of that pattern paper that I saved, and I'm going to put that in behind my photos. So that's how that's going to go. I do use a couple shims here. They're just plain cardstock that I put on top because I use a magic mat for one of my clear mats on my Big Shot, and I find that with that magic mat it's a little tiny bit thinner, so I have to add a little bit more pressure, so that's why I use 3 sheets of cardstock as my shims. So I've pulled out a couple stencils here. I'm going to use number 35 and 17. Number 35 stencil is these beautiful waves. So I've pulled out some Distress inks in Stormy Sky, which is one of my favorite colors of all time, and actually Tumbled Glass, which is not one that I use a lot. I don't really hardly ever use it, but I really love the way that it looks with Stormy Sky. I think those colors just blend together so beautifully, and I love the way that it looks on these waves. So that's what I'm using here today. I'm just using my blending brushes and blending both colors on each of the sets of waves and just staggering them here at the bottom of my page. And I'm gonna put a couple in and around my photos as well that's just gonna peek out from either side. And then after I get this stenciling on here, I'm going to go ahead and grab the number 17 stencil as well, which is the sunburst stencil. And I'm going to add some sun rays at the top portion of my photos behind that file folder so that that kind of peeks out like the ray of sunshine behind us. So I think that'll look really cool. But this was my direction for this page. I just love the stencil with the waves on it, and I think it's super cute. So I really wanted to use that on this page. And I love these photos of myself and my baby girl. I couldn't wait to scrap them. So can we just like rewind and go back to summer, because I am actually missing it. I love fall. I am a fall girl through and through, but right now I am missing summer, something crazy. It's been cold and gloomy and rainy here the past few days and windy, and it's just, I'm from Pennsylvania in the States. So yeah, the weather here has just been kind of garbage lately. And I like fall whenever it's clear, blue, beautiful skies. And that's what I love about fall, but it hasn't been that way lately, so I would gladly go back to summer. So there I've got my sunburst rays on there. I used Scatter Straw Distress Oxide for that one, and then I'm just sprinkling some water onto my inks and oxides here because they react with water, and as you can see they have that little marbled or spotty effect. And then I'm just going in here with a pen, a black gel pen, and I am just outlining some of these waves. Not all of them, just a couple of them, just to give them some accent. Then I'm just going to go ahead and mat my photos with some smooth white cardstock. I'm matting all 3 at the same time, cutting them all apart on my paper trimmer beside me. I actually have triangle dies there laying on my desk right where I flopped that paper. I was going to use some triangles in this too and kind of point to my photos, but I decided not to use them. So I've pulled out that paper pad. It's called, I believe, Summertime by Echo Park, if I remember right. And I've just pulled out a couple of the little pieces that I have left, just scraps in there. And I'm just going to use that to mat my photos here real quick, and I'll distress a couple of those edges that are peeking out. So I'm just going to stagger my photos on top of that file folder here, and I really wanted to pull in some of this gorgeous watermelon pattern paper because that's what my baby girl swimsuit has on it, is little watermelons, so I thought it would be super cute to kind of match that. And then I really like this pineapple paper too, just to pull in some of that yellow with my sunburst rays behind it. So there's my 3 photos. I am going to stagger them there, and I will cut apart my paper snips here. The paper snips I'm using today is number 33, which is a summery one, and I just love it. I'm adding some more splatters in here with some Evergreen Bough Distress ink, and then I will let that dry a little bit. I noticed that it was reacting with my ink pen that I did the outlines on. I probably should have done my splatters first, but I didn't even think about that. So I actually just went in with a paper towel here in a second and dried them up as soon as I noticed that it started reacting with the ink pen. So note to self, if you are using a black ink pen and you want to add splatters with distressed inks or oxides, make sure you do the black ink work after you do your distressed inks. So here is my photos. I've got them all on there staggered the way that I want them to, or at least 2 of them are, and then I'm going to put my 3rd one here, which I've distressed those edges of. So I'll pop that one right down in the center. That is my title piece. It says Enjoy Life, which is so perfect for these photos. And then this little geotag actually came in that other set that's called Travel Icons. So it's a various set. It comes with little campers and different little travel themed icons. And the colors do vary in the sets. So it may look a little bit different from the website photo if you get a set of those. So mine had that gorgeous yellow that matched my title piece, so I'm going to pop that right there. I've cut apart my paper snips using the coordinating die in the shop, which I absolutely love. It just saves so much time to cut that bottom portion of those out. And see, that part's already done, and they're all cut out perfectly. And then if I want to use anything from the top here, and I do, I'm just going to go ahead and cut them out with scissors. So I'm grabbing a couple stamp sets here by Elle Studio. I just want to stamp a couple phrases here. One that's going to say loved this day on this little tab here. So I'm going to tuck that in behind there just to add some more layering. And then I'll add another one up top here in a moment. So I'm just going to work on that cluster. I'm going to actually make all those circle pieces into the epoxy flare buttons. So you see those little circles, those clear circles sitting on my desk right now. If you didn't know what those are for in the shop, this is what they're for. So they're sticky on one side, so you can make your own epoxy flare buttons. So all you have to do is just cut your circles out and peel those off of the clear sheet, and it sticks right directly down to your circles, and then you can just apply them to your layout how you wish. So what I like to do with mine is I like to put a glue dot sandwich in there with some thread in between the glue dots and stick that down to my layout. So I just kind of twiddle the thread in behind there and make it nice and messy. And then I'm just adding the rest of these paper snips on here, alternating between Nuvo glue and my ATG tape gun. And then, of course, I use my Nuvo glue on the Perspex bits because I find that that makes them stick really well. But just when you're sticking these down, don't forget to peel the backing sheets off of them. There's usually one on both sides. Sometimes I've found that it's only on the back side. So just be careful whenever you're sticking these down because the adhesive doesn't work so well whenever you're applying it to the backing piece. So here, I just thought the top was missing a little something, so I pulled out another stamp set to add, and then I wanted to add a couple little watermelons to go with her swimsuit, so I'm just going to pop these couple watermelons down here just to fill in a little bit more of that white space, and that's all that I'm going to use from that. That's from the Simple Story Sunkissed collection. I've used a lot of it, and I have just little bits left. But I thought it would look cute on this layout. And then this is the Summertime Tabs stamp set from Elle Studio. The other stamp set that I used was the Daily Tab set. So yeah, I'm just going to grab some little clear sequins here and I'll start adding those on, and I'm going to pop my date stamp here at the top, and then that's pretty much going to do it for this one. So I'm going to actually link everything down below in the description for you guys so you can grab any of the products that I've used from the shop if you liked anything. And as you can see, I finished that off with some machine stitching on that left side, so it kind of looks like a real tablet with the lines going down it. And then I'm going to pop this little bit up with some 3D foam squares. And then here's those beautiful sequins that I'm going to add. They just look like little bubbles, which I thought was perfect for this layout, being that we were playing in the water and just having a blast. So I'll add just a few here and there, nothing crazy on the sequins today. I'm just going to scatter them about my layouts. So I'll speed this up here in just a second for you so you don't have to watch me popping every single one of these down. So here is the finished layout. I just love how this one turned out with all that beautiful stenciling. So thank you guys so much for being here and thanks for watching, and feel free to hit that subscribe button so you're notified of future videos that I post. So thanks again guys, have a great day, bye bye.